So now you've already learned the levels of production: pre-production, production, and post-production, but you still do not know who is supposed to be doing what in those particular stages of production. So in this video, I'm going to give you a list of crew members that are going to be working with you in your production, because I believe you're watching this video because you are either doing some content production somewhere or you're interested in doing content production somewhere. Every production needs a producer. A producer is taking the administrative role. They are overseeing the content being produced from start to finish, because they are good in terms of managing people. They're like the human resource people, but they are also coordinating with the executive producer to get funding for that particular content, right? So not all productions have executive producer, but all productions have producers. You cannot have a production without a producer. And then you have a technical person who is actually a director. The director is the person who is coordinating all the technical crew in terms of the camera person, in terms of the sound engineers, in terms of the people who are going to be editors, working on in terms of those technical people, lighting, sound, they do that. So the director's role is actually to work on the creative vision of the content. They look at how they can execute this particular content creatively. They look at how the final product is supposed to look like, right? So the idea from the producer, the idea from the scripting section where they were doing that content ideation, that thing is visually executed by the director. So that technical person is the one who does that. They call the shots. They know this is a good take, this is a bad take, so we can do it again, take 2, take 3, until you get the final version of the story that we want. The other important person in this crew is a cinematographer, or the DP, the director of photography. They are the ones in charge of all the cameras, so they oversee how the elements of filming. They select the type of equipment that is supposed to be used because of the specific result that we expect that video to give. So if you want a drone footage, they'll give you the best type of drone that you're supposed to use for that particular. If you want a type of a jib shot, they will tell you this is the type of equipment you need to get. If you want, those kind of things, these are the people who know what equipment to actually bring on board, so that they have the best people to work with that. Also, they work closely with the director to ensure that what was in the storyboard is actually executed in the short list, and it's executed on the camera when you're filming. Then we have another person who is also very important. You cannot film without having sound. So we have the audio operator or the sound engineer. These people are essential. They manage all the recording of the film. They ensure that the sound is good when you're filming. There is no noise, not unless that noise is actually ambient noise, which is filmed prior to that particular interview or drama, right? So they set up all the audio equipment, monitor the levels, and ensure that it's recorded at the best quality that is intended. Another person is the gaffer. Gaffer is the chief electrician. They are in charge of all the electrical workflow, so that you don't get to burn your lights, you don't get to burn your batteries and get electrical shorts. These are the people who are in charge of that particular job. Then you have somebody called the grip. They support the camera and lighting departments by managing the equipment. They are responsible for setting up, rigging, setting up, and setting down. These are the people who are in charge. They are called the grip guys. Then we have the person who is in charge of making people beautiful, the makeup artist. You cannot have an interview with just anybody, not unless it's a news. But if you're doing an interview documentary, you need to get people to look good on TV, right? If you're producing content, you need a makeup artist to ensure that they look good. They look good for that particular video. If you're doing a horror movie, you need to get a makeup artist so that they can do that special effects on their faces, so that they can look that scary. So the mood of the story is in tandem with how the looks of those particular characters are in the film that you're shooting. You have the PA with the production assistants, entry-level positions. When you want to start doing film, doing production, you need to enter a certain, they are like the interns in terms of this creative industry. They're like the interns, the production assistants. So they help, and as they help, they're running up and down, they get to learn different roles in any production. And then you have editors who work on the post-production. These are the people who also work hand in hand with the graphics people. They are all in that department. Editors and graphic designers are in that same room, so they work to ensure that all the production is edited very well the way it's supposed to be done. They sit and coordinate with the director so that they can ensure that the vision that the director had is actually executed in the final production. If there was any challenges, they are being advised, and they coordinate very well to ensure that everything runs on smoothly and that everything is going to be okay. So they work with the director and the cinematographer to ensure that you don't miss any shot. If the director said that is the best shot, that is the one you take. If you had any other idea, please just shelve it away. You don't have that power to actually change that. Then the final person we have is the assistant director, who is the AD. They coordinate the shooting, scheduling, acts, liaison, and they also coordinate with the crew. So they are the people who do the logistic work, because I told you the producer is the overall person, the management, but you need to to delegate certain roles to some people, right? We have the director, who is the creative mind, but you also have to delegate some roles to some people. That's why you have the production assistant. That's why you have the director and the assistant director. So they are all responsible in that assistant level and entry level to ensure that everything is done properly, that the production is. So with this summary introduction of the crew members, now you are ready to start your production. You know the levels of production, you know your crew. I've already talked about scripting. You know how to get ideas. You can write scripts. What are you waiting for? Maybe I should see you in the next video for some other video topics on production and creative content creation.